everyone, Yuko from Myojo USA, and I'm here again with Keizo-san today. It's actually our 30th anniversary for our company. We actually provide a variety of retail products from ramen, yakisoba, udon, all the way to gyoza wrappers and wonton wrappers as well. So we want to give a spotlight to some of our products today. Keizo-san, what are we doing today?
Yeah, so today we're gonna bring back one of Ramen Shack's old menu items, and we put out a poll on Instagram so customers could choose which item they wanted to see, and tsukemen was the winner.
Nice.
So today we're gonna take the seafood tonkotsu kit, and we're gonna make a really rich tonkotsu gyokai tsukemen.
I'm excited to see that.
Alright, so you the viewers chose tonkotsu gyokai tsukemen, and today we're going to use this seafood tonkotsu pack, and we're going to try to recreate the Ramen Shack tonkotsu gyokai ganja style tsukemen. Here are the ingredients that I'm going to use. So we're going to take the noodles in this pack and the soup base, and then we're going to add all these other ingredients to actually make that thick tonkotsu gyokai soup. This seafood tonkotsu pack normally contains 2 servings of ramen, and we're actually going to make just 1 serving because tsukemen usually has more noodles than soup. And we're going to take the 2 servings of noodles and make 1 serving of tsukemen. So before we open up this pack, we're gonna make some toppings for the tsukemen. We'll start with the pork belly. This is about 1.5 pounds of pork belly. You can buy it probably at your supermarket or your meat market. You can cut it down to this size, and we're gonna tie it up and make it a roll. All right, so we'll put the pork belly slab on the cutting board. And as you can see, the grain will be mostly going this way. So we're gonna have to roll it like this, so that when we cut it for chashu, we cut against the grain. This is twine. You can just buy it at a supermarket or a food equipment store. And we want it to look like this. So we use the twine to hold it together. It doesn't have to be too tight, but you want to make sure there's no opening or air right here. We want to be able to tell how to take it off. So I'll just tuck this in right here and have a little loop. So when we take it off, we can just pull here. So now this chashu will be boiled in water. So place this in that hot water and just simmer it for about 2 hours. And then afterwards, we're gonna take it out of the hot water and put it into a shoyu tare. So this is our chashu tare, and it's 3 parts soy sauce, 1 part mirin, and 2 parts water. The longer we soak the chashu, the saltier it will get. So it's really up to you how salty you want it. But a good 2 hours will get a nice flavor into it, and this color is pretty good. So this chashu is ready to be cut and served, but first we need to take off the string. And now it's ready to cut. All right, so now we're gonna make the soup. We're gonna be using all these ingredients along with our soup base packet that comes inside the Myojo kit. First, we're gonna measure the water. So we're measuring about 1 liter of water. So while the water is still cold, we're gonna add the 2 packs of soup base. Apply heat. Then we're gonna just wait for this to boil, and we're gonna cut the other vegetables that we're gonna use to make the soup. First, we'll take the ginger. Ginger, we're gonna use about 4 grams. So set that aside for now. So this is a yellow onion that we'll use. You can use any kind you want, but try to stick to brown or yellow. We only need about 20 grams, just diced like this. About that much is good. Okay, so next we will get 1 clove of garlic, which is about 4 grams. And we're just gonna chop this up, and then along with the ginger as well. The kombu, we're gonna use about 2 grams of kombu. We're just gonna break it up into smaller pieces. And for the rest of the ingredients, we have 16 grams of niboshi, 40 grams of katsuo, the thick cut, atsukezuri. Make sure you don't get the thin cut. I mean, you can still use it if you can't find this, but try to go for the thick cut. This is what's gonna give us that real nice gyokai flavor. All right, so now we got our soup coming to a boil, and we're gonna start adding the vegetables first. Ginger and garlic, the onions, kombu, the niboshi, and the atsukezuri. Give it a little stir. Once this comes to a simmer, we can lower the heat. We don't want to overboil it because all these flavors from the ingredients we added need to come out. So if we boil it too fast, you'll end up burning the soup. So make sure it's just really on a low simmer. And if you have one of these, this is a nodoke viscosity meter, bricks meter. You can use this to measure how thick your soup is getting. We want to get around a 12 bricks, but like I said, it's gonna take about an hour, but you can also just do it to your liking. You can taste it as it reduces. Thicker the better, because we need this thick soup to stick to the noodles. So we'll leave this here for now, and then we're gonna make noodles. All right, so from this pack, we get 2 servings of noodles. As you can see, these are kind of thin. I like my tsukemen noodles to be thick. What I'm gonna show you is a trick that you can do at home to create different noodles and make them a little thicker. So we'll take 1 pack at a time and grab a Ziploc bag like this and put 1 portion in. From here, we're gonna take 1 tablespoon of water and add it to the bag. So we're gonna give this a good squeeze for about 3 to 5 minutes. It's kind of like a stress ball. Okay, so now if it's nice and wet, we could take it out of the bag. We're just gonna squeeze it some more. See how it falls apart? You still see some noodle texture here. We want all of that to kind of get mashed up. So now we got a nice ball of dough. And then just flatten it out a little bit. And if you have a hand crank machine like this, you could probably buy it on Amazon. If you don't have this, you can do it with your hands, but it's gonna take a lot more time. So you can adjust the roller here, but we want it on the widest setting. Just kind of slowly add the dough to make a sheet. So now we got somewhat of a sheet here, and we're gonna fold it in half and keep putting it through the same setting, the same width. So we're gonna put this through a number of times. It could take about 7 or 8 times to get through here. Always doubling up and folding it until we get that nice texture. Okay, so now we have this nice smooth yellow texture. So this is about ready to be cut, but before we cut, I'm gonna change the setting to 1 more width down and then just roll it through like this. Okay, so here we're gonna use a 2mm cutter. We want it to be a little bit thicker because of the tsukemen noodle. As you can see, it's a nice thickness. Then we'll just dust it with a little cornstarch. We have a thicker noodle for tsukemen. Okay, so now we're gonna get the toppings ready. And first we will cut the scallions. We're only gonna need 1 stalk for today. So last but not least, for the toppings, we're gonna cut the chashu. So now we're gonna warm up the chashu and we're gonna lightly take a torch to it. All right, so now we're gonna take the noodles that we just made and we're gonna boil them. So for tsukemen, because it's a thick noodle, we're gonna wanna boil it for about 6 to 7 minutes. And then after we boil them, we're gonna shock them in water and rinse them. Now our noodles are nice and rinsed and we're gonna plate it into the bowl. So we're gonna grab as much as we can and kind of smooth it out like this. And plate it like that. So now we'll just place the chashu right on top of the noodle and finish it off with a piece of nori. Alright, so our soup has been boiling for about an hour now. We're about ready to strain the soup. So now we reduced quite a bit from 1 liter to about 280 liters. This is going to be our tsukemen soup. So for toppings on the soup, we'll add some scallions and naruto and gyofun. Gyofun is fish powder. And now we're ready to serve. So Yuko, this is my tonkotsu gyokai tsukemen.
Ooh, it looks so good. The noodles actually look so different from a seafood tonkotsu.
What I actually did was I made noodles from noodles.
Which is crazy. I feel like I can't even imagine how you can do this right at home.
Yeah, this is everything here except for the toppings are straight from the Myojo.
Yeah.
I basically reduced the soup base with some other ingredients and made the soup thicker for tsukemen style because it's a dipping ramen.
I'm excited to try this.
Yeah.
I can taste like the bonito in it, but I can also still taste like our soup base from the seafood tonkotsu. It's really good.
Yeah, the soup is great, but I'm actually surprised that the noodles have really great texture. Very mochi mochi. You know, this is actually kind of like real tsukemen. Like, I'm pretty surprised that I was able to take the Myojo kit and do a tonkotsu gyokai tsukemen.
I think it's really innovative, and I'm really surprised too. Like, you can literally do this at home.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
a
the
pasta
viewers
machine.
chose this style, so now they can try to make it at home with a Myojo retail kit.
Maybe I can even do it at home.
Yeah.
I just need a pasta machine.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
Does it replicate what you used to have at Ramen Shack pretty well?
Yeah, it's pretty close. I had a ganja style, which paid tribute to the first shop named Ganja that invented this rich tonkotsu gyokai style with the gyofun on top. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed how close I was able to get it. You know, who would have thought from a ramen pack you could buy at the supermarket you can get this close?
So this is our premium ramen series. We have 4 flavors. We have seafood tonkotsu, shio tonkotsu, vegetarian shoyu, and garlic miso. And what's really unique about this product is each noodle for each package is fit for the type of soup. Like, one of them might have thicker noodles than the other. So for the tonkotsu, it's a bit thinner compared to the other ones to fit like the tonkotsu style. And you can try out like a restaurant quality noodles. So yeah, try it at home.
So I hear we have a lot of questions from viewers.
Yep, we actually asked on our Instagram story if anyone had any questions.
All right, well, we can get into that, but can I finish this first?
Yep.
All right.
I need to finish mine too. All right, so we actually have a couple of questions that we got from an Instagram story. We got quite a few, so we're gonna go through some of them for you to answer.
All right. let's
Ready?
go. Yeah.
Okay. So first, Tomo TR asks, what is your all-time favorite ramen?
Okay, so everyone knows like a Tokyo style shoyu ramen, chuka soba is one of my favorites. And usually like when you live somewhere, you want to go eat ramen nearby. So that kind of becomes your favorite bowl because you're so used to it and it's so comfortable and you recognize it. So whenever I go back to Tokyo, Eifukucho Taishoken is the first place I go. And that style is really kind of what hits my heart and makes me crave it the most.
Do you ever make that kind of ramen at home?
I try to, but for me, it's like the Eifukucho Taishoken style is so unique and cherished by my palate that I kind of don't want to try and copy it. So I make a lot of ramen, and sometimes it's good to just go to a shop and relax and not have to worry about making anything, but just enjoying that bowl. And that bowl really kind of hits home and de-stresses me and makes me feel comfortable.
Yeah, that's nice. Next question is from Rusty Hicks. What is your advice for someone who is working towards opening their own shop?
That's a good question. First of all, you know, you have to really love what you do. Like ramen restaurant is, I mean, any restaurant for that sake is really tough to do.
Yeah.
Definitely talk with other restaurant owners, you know, get a feel if it's your first time opening a ramen shop or a restaurant. Ask me, you know, send me a message and I'll try to help out as much as I can. But yeah, that's basically it. When you're trying to open a ramen shop and get the flow and the flavors and everything, there's a lot of things that you need to know. So the more experience you have, the better. The more knowledge you have, the better. So definitely ask your peers and other friends and stuff.
Like reaching out to your community, basically, right? Yeah. All right, last question is from Yokosuka Ramen. When is Keizo bringing back Ramen Shack?
That's a good question. You know, I had a secret that I'd like to share with you.
Okay.
Ramen Shack is coming back to San Juan Capistrano this summer.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, I've been creating new noodles for Myojo, and hopefully we can use the new noodles at Ramen Shack as well. So I'm very excited about that too.
Yeah, that concludes our Q&A. Keizo-san, thank you for answering the questions, and thank you for everyone who submitted questions to us.
I hope you enjoyed me recreating Ramen Shack's menu item with a Myojo retail pack. Now you can do it at home as well because I gave you the recipe. Like hopefully someday even that tsukemen kit will be in stores for you to buy. Until then, keep being innovative and let me know what you've created with a Myojo ramen pack. You could leave a comment below if you have any questions or send me a message, and don't forget to subscribe.
And for next video, we're actually having one of our team members from Myojo USA help out with creative recipes using our retail products. So yeah, look forward to that. See you next video.
Bye.